أصحاب السعادة المكرمين والمكرمات، طلاب وطالبات جامعاتنا العريقة، ضيوفنا الأعزاء، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ويسعد الله مساءكم بكل الخير. يشرفني الترحيب بكم في الجلسة الثالثة من برنامج المتحدثين البنك الوطني العماني هذا، وكما يسعدني أن نستضيف اليوم الدكتورة أنوشة أنصاري التي تشرفنا بحضورها من ولاية تكساس. واسمحوا لي أن نكمل هذا التقديم باللغة الإنجليزية. Idea to invite the world's foremost leaders, innovators and explorers to Oman to share their experiences and inspire the next generation. We could not have imagined so much interest and excitement this series would generate. Our last event saw Group CEO and Managing Director of Mubadala, His Excellency Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, giving a fascinating speech about the power of business. First Muslim lady, space explorer Anousheh Ansari to this forum. On September 18, 2006, she captured headlines around the world as the first female private space explorer and the first astronaut of an Iranian descent. As you know, the NBO speaker series was designed to bridge the gaps between Oman's hopeful youth exploration. She wants to inspire the youth, especially girls around the world, to pursue their dreams and promote peace and understanding amongst nations. Anousheh immigrated from Iran to the United States as a teenager who did not speak English then, but she went on to earn a bachelor's Solus Networks in 2000. A serial entrepreneur and co-founder and chairman of Prodia Systems, Ansari current company plans to dramatically alter and simplify consumer digital living experiences. To help drive commercialization of the space industry, Anousheh and her family provided title sponsorship for the Ansari space twice within 2 weeks. She has received multiple honors, including the World Economic Forum Young Global Leader, the Working Women's National Entrepreneurial Excellence Award. Under her leadership, telecom technologies earned recognition as one of Inc. magazine's 500 fastest growing companies and Deloitte and Touche Fast 500 technology companies. She currently works to enable social entrepreneurs to bring about radical change globally with organizations such as XPRIZE, Ashoka and other community foundations. She believes the key to a better future for humankind is in the hands of our young generation, and it is up to us to provide them with the right tools through education and as good role models. Anousheh has always dreamt of traveling to space, and while she is extremely excited to realize this dream, she is also focused on sharing her experiences with others. So this evening, we are lucky as we will be hearing from a pioneer in both business and space exploration. Dr. Ansari is a wonderful role model for any aspiring Omani entrepreneur or explorer, and I'm delighted she has agreed to share her remarkable story with us this evening. It is our privilege and honor to welcome Anousheh Ansari to this forum.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here. I want to thank NBO for giving me this opportunity, and especially Mr. Arthur to allow me to be a speaker at this wonderful third edition of this forum and share my story with all of you. I hope there are some nuggets of information that will be useful to whatever it is that you are involved with today. I have a presentation prepared for all of you, and at the end I have a video that I show, and if you don't like the presentation, I can assure you you'll like the video because it allows you to travel with me to the stars. The picture you see here is something that I hold dear in my heart, and it's a drawing that I did when I was very young. When we left Iran and we went to United States, we didn't take too many things with us, and we were to start life again the second time from zero. So just a few things, and my mom happened to take this drawing, she didn't even remember it. And when I flew to space, someone had taken this picture of my launch next to it. And as she was really, worried about me, and she was going through her stuff, just keeping herself busy, she found this drawing. And that's what gave her hope, and she knew at that moment that I would return to her safe and sound. So that helped her get through the whole 11 days that I was in space, and then when I came back, she gave it to me. But I use it here to say that, even at 5 years old, I knew what I wanted to do, and I can predict the future, because you can see the resemblance there. So if you guys are wondering what's going to happen next, I think I can predict it for you. So come talk to me afterwards. I grew up in Mashhad. So I was born a long, long time ago in a country not too far away from here, actually. I grew up and I stayed in Iran during the revolution and during the war with Iraq. And when I was about 16 years old, that's when I went to the United States. But growing up in Iran, what I remember the most is the beautiful night skies. I hear the pollution doesn't allow you to see the stars as well anymore. But I remember when I was growing up, I was fascinated with the stars. Summer nights, we would sleep outside on the balcony of my grandparents' home. And that was the best time for me because I could just look into the night sky and let my imagination just go wild. To imagine other worlds out there, to imagine alien life form, to imagine there's another girl somewhere out there on one of those shining objects looking back and thinking about the same thing. And I even my second choice was engineering, so I went and became an engineer and later on became an entrepreneur and started a company. But my passion and what I wanted to do was really go to space, and I didn't want to forget that because it was a big part of my life. And in order not to forget about it and give up on it, I had little things that reminded me every day of that passion. Whether it was dressing up like this or, every single conference room in my company was named after galaxies and stars and constellations. Or, every server in the company had space-related names. And I would read articles, go to classes sometimes just to keep myself up with what's happening in space. And that's what, keeps you going. And it keeps you dreaming and imagining a different world and something that you can change. And we've seen this happen throughout history. Today we use cell phones, and the technology and the computing power in that handheld device is many times faster and greater than the biggest supercomputers when computers came about and they used mostly in banks and universities. And there were people back then that could not imagine a time where all those equipment and rooms who saw a different world, who used their imagination and imagined a world where how technology has evolved. You look at this curve, that's an exponential curve. And for us, there's several different technologies that are on this exponential curve, and they are bringing change faster than we've ever seen in our history. And sometimes for us it's even hard to keep up with it because we're used to linear growth, linear change. When someone tells you there is, 30 steps, you can look and 30 steps from here will end up there. But if someone tells you there are 30 exponential steps and you want to calculate that, you're going to be going 26 times around the world. And that our mind can't imagine. All the technology and research done by astronauts in space is being used today in our everyday lives like it has been in the past. All our communication technology, a lot of medical technology, material we use in our clothes and shoes and in our buildings, they all came from space research, and I think it will play even a bigger role in the future. I told you I will tell you a little bit more about the prizes, X prizes. And these are, we've now expanded into 4 areas. And we have active prizes in all 4 areas. Exploration, which is the one near and dear to my heart, is where we have ocean and space exploration prizes. We have Google Lunar X Prize ongoing, $35 million for an unmanned mission to Moon, 35 doctors, and use wireless technology. So that's something we're very excited, and there will be a winner announced in January. There's also, recently we announced a Global Learning X Prize, which is about, again, a software that can run on an Android device and can allow a child to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, basic arithmetic, without help from anyone, any teacher or anyone else. So it has to be something that's very simple, easy, and intuitive that can teach that child those 3 areas. So I'm still very active with X Prize and continuously launch, and X Prize is what sort of paved my way into space, and it was at the first anniversary of X Prize that I got introduced to Space Adventure, the company that made it possible for me to go to the International Space Station. International Space Station is a collaboration between 16 countries, and it's the most amazing, I think, project that demonstrates when countries want to work together, they can make amazing things happen. So you have parts and pieces that were built in different parts of the world, and they've been flown to space and assembled in space, and they work so perfectly well together. It orbits about 220 miles above our planet, and it makes a complete orbit every 90 minutes, so you get to see a sunrise and a sunset every 90 minutes. In order to go there, I had to prepare like every other astronaut, and I went through the full training program with the Russian space program in Russia, and it involved classroom training, zero-G training, learning Russian actually, and doing survival training, and a full set of preparation to learn all the systems on board the Soyuz. This is a picture of the Soyuz. This is the capsule that is also the escape capsule for the space station. And right now the only human-carrying vehicle that's flying astronauts to the space station. It allows for 3 passengers, 3 people to fly. As you can see, it's a very tiny capsule, so you are very friendly with your crewmates for the duration you're in there. And worth the trip, because once you get to the space station, you can have this incredible view out of the windows of the space station and see our world in a different light and a different way. At the end, before I show you a video, I want to share with you a poem that's my absolutely all-time favorite poem, and something that I share especially when I talk to students, because I think to me this summarizes my life and how I see life. It's a poem by Karen Raven, and the poem goes, only as high as I reach can I grow. Only as far as I seek can I go. Only as deep as I look can I see. And only as much as I dream can I be. So I want to encourage everyone in the audience, but especially the young students and entrepreneurs in the audience, to dream and dream big. This is the winning X Prize flight that I was telling you about.
I'm here at the Mojave Spaceport with Anousheh Ansari, the title sponsor of the Ansari X Prize. Congratulations on today's flight.
I'm not afraid of risk. This is a risk worth taking, and having the view
we saw today on the monitors of Spaceship One is just an experience that's out of this world, and I would do anything, give my life to experience it.
So this is the centerpiece right here. The 9G test here is integrated upon These are also used simulation training. All of the survival training. This is the space station simulation training area. This is the zero-G flight, highly recommended. There's a company actually that you can have this experience here in the US. So my crewmates, Michael Lopez-Alegria from NASA and Mikhail Turin with the Russian space program. This is our final exam. This is the morning of the flight. After preparation, you basically ask for permission to board the rocket, and there's a bus that drives you and takes you there. My family came to watch the launch.
She's got that one. And the next time we see her, she'll need to burn 20 miles instead.
This is my countdown story. This is my husband. Aloy Leonard. This is my mom. This is my sister. This is me during the launch. So this is after 2 days as we started docking to the International Space Station. There were 3 other crew members on board the station, one from Germany, one Russian, and one American. The Earth's rotating by, I see the curvature right there.
The views from space station is amazing. From up here, everything's really peaceful, and you can't see the borders, you can't see different races, different religions. All you see is just one Earth, very peaceful and beautiful, rotating. And I think that's part of the reason I wish more and more people will be able to experience this firsthand, because talking to the astronauts and cosmonauts, they have a different perspective on life and how important it is for us to do everything in our power to
hard to describe the satisfaction you get by seeing something that you've longed for so long. And you call this the final destination for myself, and to basically retire from working in the space industry. I look at it as just one of the steps that I'm taking in a long journey, and my ultimate goal will be to bring this experience.
Of course, I'm a woman, but I'm a woman in the technology field where there are not that many women involved in technology to begin with, and even less women involved as CEOs and leaders in a tech company. So definitely, it always takes me longer to prove myself.
Thank you, Anousheh, for that very, very inspiring speech. It's blown away by your passion for what you do, and in many ways, I wish I could join you on one field trip. So, if there are any seats on that.
How did we come to be where we are today, and why we're here? And is there a purpose in this world? Are we? Is this universe like a tiny bubble on a pin, like one of the Dr. Seuss's story, or are there multiple universes? All these questions has always fascinated me as they do when you want to learn cosmology and got interested in astrophysics and astronomy, and I continue to read about all of these topics. So that's what I mean. I love asking this question, and I always look for answers, and that continues keeping going on this, I think, until I die. But I do believe in everything that I say that will impact our lives in a positive manner here on Earth. And there are things that are happening and will continue to happen, especially now that the private industry has become much more active and involved and thriving. In the future, though, we can also look at how difficult our planet is from space, but also you can see how fragile this is and how our environment, you see that very thin blue line around our Earth, and that's the atmosphere, and that's the difference between the fact that the living things on this planet and or not.
My idea was that I wanted to become an inventor. So originally my path to space in my mind, in my child's mind, was that, okay, I have to invent something and come up with an idea that's so great and fantastic that space agencies of other countries will be so interested in my invention that would want me to be part of the space agency and fly my invention to space.
Is how do you keep going forward in this journey? What have you learned? What have you made you continue going?
So leadership is about having a strong passion for something and then being able to actually distribute that passion to others, transfer it to others. So I went to Moscow on one of the coldest winter in Russia and spent about 7.5 months training, just to train, not to go to space. And when I was there, I decided that I'm here, I'm going to make the best out of it, I'm going to train as if I'm going to space. And that's what I did. And the day I was everything finished and we were on our way to go, my husband was coming to help me pack. On the way to the airport, I received a call and was on the other
Just I will ask you, how your space exploration helped to be entrepreneur?
So the way it has impacted me as an entrepreneur is that it has given me a global view that has stayed with me in every aspect of my work. So when I'm designing a product, when I'm working on a problem to solve, when I'm working with an NGO to solve a problem, I always look at the global impact that it can have, the way it can be used everywhere around the world. So I cannot look at it in a small scale anymore. So that's, I think, the biggest
bringing businesses and NGOs together, by bringing people from different parts of the world together and share best practices. And Ashoka is one of those organizations that has been doing this for over 30 years now and has coined the word social entrepreneur and identifying these fellows all over the world and then gives them very modest stipend for 3 years and allows them to basically go after their idea and build their ideas and implement it. But now there's so many different ways through crowdfunding and crowdsourcing, and people, a 3-person company can make a product that will disrupt some big industry globally. And you know, if you look at Uber, you look at many
support initiatives. The government is doing quite great innovative things. Private sector trying to help. Banks are mandated with credit percentages, and it's still a challenge. What is it that you can tell us about the American venture capital and the American journey from an idea by one of the university students to Google? What is it that brings this creativity and innovation?
You have to present a business idea for their graduation, and they bring VCs, real VCs in the room, and you will make a pitch to them. And that's part of their graduation activity, and that whole mentality is built, and some of them already, right after graduation, they already have an idea that they're launching. So it's not about just reading books and learning, but a lot of these entrepreneurship skills and muscles are built throughout the education system. So having those types of institutions and the policies that allows you to register companies, to understand the regulation involved with the company, making those very simple, easy, and understandable. Those also all create an environment that people can have ideas and try out their ideas and succeed at it, fail and learn from it, and continue to move forward. And another aspect is that in our society here in this part of the world, we're more we don't like to fail. Even if someone fails, they try to hide it and sort of sweep it under the rug because it's not a good thing. And it makes it difficult to learn from mistakes. But I think we need to be open as a society and celebrate our mistakes and learn from them and allow others to learn from them and make that part of the journey. And that is something that you see again in Silicon Valley. A very large percentage of the companies fail. We don't hear about them, but in that community, everyone knows which companies fail, how they fail, why they fail. They have to present an idea.